All right, cool, man. Let's get to work, man. We got a lot of stuff to do. We'll chit chat a little bit. As always, it's a pleasure to have everybody in here. I am Kunal, as you guys probably have figured that out. Today, we're going to talk about a couple cool things. All right. Number one, our focus today is going to be on how to grow your trading account while managing a job. One of the things I think that's a kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit of a misnomer. Like people are like, okay, I don't want to get into day trading or short-term trading because I have a job, and it becomes like the catch-22, right? You can never really get rid of one thing without the other and do the other without the other. But what I think a lot of people miss sometimes is that almost everybody, starts their trading career while working. So what are some things that you can do to actually grow your trading account while you're managing a job and working a job and doing that job well? And then beyond that, like, what are the trading patterns? What are the setups, the techniques, the routines that you need to actually be able to juggle both, right? Because you're not going to be able to obviously sit in front of the computer all day, but you might be able to sit in front of the computer a little bit of the day. And of course, you have access to smartphones and iPads and, all this kind of stuff. Beyond that, let's go over the agenda a little bit, and then we'll chit chat. Number one, we'll do a little bit of intro. And number two, choosing between day trading, swing trading. And then number three, reasons retail traders fail and succeed. Number four, the best trading plan for traders who work full time, managing, working, trading life. And then, of course, the balance of it all. And then, of course, like, when do you actually know when to make the big move? And I think that's the hardest part, right? Like, you guys all have families and things going on. When do you actually make this jump? For me, like, when I made the jump in, don't even tell anybody, but 2008, when I made the jump into full-time trading in 2008, there was, and I was like a kid basically, but there was a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of things that you weigh in terms of, do I do what I want to do right now? Or am I giving myself the best opportunity to succeed in this as a career? So, like, for example, like, if something is just a money grab, then you do what you want to do and you do it right away. But if you're kind of setting yourself up for success or to hit your goals, but you're doing it for something 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, 20 years down the road, something with staying power, then what you do now and what you want now might be a little bit different. And that's kind of how it was with me, at least when I became a full-time trader. I could have done it a year earlier, but I gave myself one extra year, even though I was ready and I had the profits to show. I gave myself one extra year to kind of save up more bankroll and just be conservative with it, because I wanted to be able to give myself a chance to be in this game when I was in my 30s and 40s and so on and so forth, just like I'm trying to do in my 20s when I started. So who am I? I'm the big boss of this show. I'm the CEO of Bulls on Wall Street, but basically it's just the head janitor of this place. I do everything. I've been trading stocks since 2008, full time, in terms of when I quit my job. And I've been trading, I was trading a couple years even before that in a full-time manner, but I was kind of milking it both ways, if you know what I mean. Meaning I was working a job and I was doing as good as I could. And then I was also trading full-time and doing the whole, like, ducking your head in the cubicle thing while your boss walks by, your coworker, your gossipy coworker walks by, all that kind of stuff. So I did that for 2 years. And then even before that, I had been practicing. And so this is kind of a lifelong pursuit of knowledge for me, but this has been an amazing journey. I've taught tens of thousands of students now over the years. I trade live in front of them every single day. So, I have all my charts up and everything you need, and people are watching me trade, including my own family members. I've been a speaker at events all over the world, from Tokyo to London, anywhere you can think of. I've been running around teaching people about day trading stocks, short-term trading stocks, and then also cryptocurrency, which has been really, I would say, kind of one of my big big growth projects of the last couple years. And I use the same strategy for all of it, whether it's cryptocurrency or stock trading, using a momentum-based trading style, which I think is the best trading style to use for people that are like retail traders. What I mean by retail traders, like people that are trading less than $20 million, and there's really, I mean, it could be somebody with $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, $200,000. This strategy works best though. Like, you can't Warren Buffett this style and turn it into billions and billions of dollars. This is an income generating style of trading that has a scalability factor to it. So let's get to know each other first. Answer these questions in the webinar chat box if you don't mind. Type 1 if you're just starting out trading and you got a full-time job, just so I know who my audience is. Type 2 if you're starting out trading with a part-time job. And then type 3 if you're currently full-time trading, which I would say maybe only 10% of my students are. Usually most people, they're working and they're really grinding their butts off, and then they're learning this. And then we get a lot of part 2 people also due to the Ronas. The type 3 people, if you're currently full-time trading and you're just not having any success with it, or you're not where you want to go, I'm also a master of pinpointing where your weaknesses are and needling out what small things you need to fix to have maximum returns. What I mean by that is, like, oftentimes if you are struggling as a trader, you may think you're like so far away, but oftentimes, like, what you'll see is that you're not that far away. You're just missing like 1 or 2 things, if that makes sense. And so, like, sometimes that 1 or 2% changes end up leading to really like 90% of the results. So we'll go over kind of all those things. I see a lot of 1s and 3s, 2s. It seems like a lot of you guys are the big number 1s. That's perfect. Sometimes people think to learn trading, like, you want to have XYZ amount of experience. I wish I played with this and that. Oftentimes, like, not having like terrible habits and a lot of emotional scars from trying to trade and then screwing them up and vice versa. Sometimes starting fresh is like really the best way to go. So, like, if you don't have a specific trading style and you're just clean slate, that's pretty awesome too. So let's talk about just day trading versus swing trading. So a lot of times, like, people get stuck into a mentality like, I have to trade XYZ because I think that's the best. And that's not really the case. There's like not any evidence that day traders make more than swing traders make more than day traders when we're talking about a certain size of an account. But a lot of your success when it comes to trading is figuring out a trading style that actually fits what you're trying to do. What I mean by that is that when you're looking at this and you're trying to trade, all right, when you're trying to trade, if you do something that goes against your personality and your goals, then oftentimes you're going to screw up the trades because it makes you uncomfortable. So when you're looking at day trading versus swing trading and choosing that right trading style, you have to understand what each one is and then really figure out what fits my personality, what fits like my lifestyle, what fits my work, my family situation, like how much time can I really put into this? And then more importantly, like really where like my inherent talent lies. And it is true that people just have certain areas that they gravitate towards, right? Naturally. It doesn't mean that's where you end up at the end, but like even in the beginning, right? You'll have certain things that just make sense to you. And in the beginning, if you're trying to make money, right, it is always a good idea to start where your aptitude is showing. So what is day trading? It's buying and selling stocks in the same trading day, right? You do got to be in front of the computer, minimum 9 a.m. on weekdays. Most of the time, I mean, you're talking much earlier than that. You got to give yourself some time to prepare in the morning. Some of the best day traders I know, I mean, they're waking up and getting to work at 6, 7, a.m., on the weekdays. I typically by 8 a.m., I'm on the computer, like I'm getting to work. And I don't do it too much earlier than that unless it's earnings season. Does require, I would say, day trading out of all things. It requires a heavier amount of mental capital, meaning like day trading is just a little bit tougher than swing trading. And the reason is this, like, for example, day trading and swing trading, the analysis is the same. So like when you're looking at charts essentially on something. So when you're looking at charts on something, whether you're looking at something on a longer term time frame or shorter term time frame, the analysis is essentially the same. You're looking for patterns, you're looking for setups, you're looking for risk management, targets, so on and so forth. So whether you're looking at 5-minute chart, 10-minute chart, or a daily chart, like the analysis is the same. So day trading is just harder because, well, frankly, you have to have the ability to make decisions a lot faster because the process is the same. Like, hey, when I'm looking at a swing trade, I may have the ability to look at something for days before I have to choose a trigger. When I'm day trading, I have to look at something for sometimes seconds to maybe minutes before I pull the trigger. So the process of figuring out what to do is the same, but one is just a lot faster. Day trading is best for traders who like to be cash liquid every single evening. It's best for people also that want to pursue trading full time. What I mean by that is like if you're trying to trade full time, but you're of the mentality like you need to actually make money every day or every week, and you need to see paychecks, then day trading is the best for you. Like, for example, if you're swing trading or investing, you can't really count on a weekly income, right? Because sometimes your plays will take weeks to months to play out. When you're day trading, this is like a zero-sum game for me when I'm day trading. At the end of the day, I look, hey, I made some money. I did make some money. And that doesn't mean I had a good or bad day. The money is like something that's an afterthought beyond making good trades. But, man, day trading is awesome because at the end of the day, you do get to make a choice. Hey, I made XYZ money. Let me see what I did right, what I did wrong. Swing trading is buying stocks and holding for 2 days to a few weeks. You don't always need to be at a computer. I think that's the good thing about swing trading is you don't always need to be at the computer. So like if you have a job, like I have a lot of students that are doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers, firefighters. I got 2 firefighter students this year. They can't always be at the computer, right? Like day trading, like how I day trade, right? Where you're wheeling and dealing, you're wheeling and dealing all day. They may not work for them. They actually have jobs that they like. They have jobs that they may want to do. Even if they don't like them, they have to do them, right? So swing trading works best for those type of people because you don't always have to be at the computer, but you can also set up alerts, stop losses, and orders to carry on with your day. I think that in general, swing trading requires less, I wouldn't say less smarts because the smartest people I've ever met and the most famous traders really in the world are swing traders, but it does require a certain different personality, meaning swing trading is a lot about getting organized, building lists, and then just watching. Day trading is about action, proaction versus reaction. I've always found swing trading to be just an incredible amount easier to do than day trading because the process is the same. But now the returns are quite different too, right? You can just turn your money so much in day trading versus swing trading that, like for me, I've always made a lot more money day trading than swing trading. Swing trading is best for traders who want to trade larger moves but take less trades. So like if you're looking at like any type of trade, whether you're in cryptocurrency stocks, right? What day trading is, you're taking 2-3% over and over and over. where swing trading, you might just hold for the whole move. I think that comes into play. Like it's an important thing, an important part of trading is really understanding that there's not one that's another. One will just net you the 20%, but you might lose. The other one, you might have small losses, but you might take small gains 10, 15 times while it's making that 20% move. I find swing trading best for people who want to pursue trading full time. So what separates winning traders from losing traders? This is always a big one, ain't it? So this is why some people fail. Most people fail in trading, and this is all fun and games, but most people will trade anything, in everything. They have a trading strategy that has no like statistical edge, right? They have a trading strategy that has no statistical edge. And statistical edge, like why is that important? Well, if you really think about like trading, like I can see like all my students' trades over here, right? So like, over time, like what you can do is you can build out ideas of like what people are doing right around. So like, for example, like this is a student of mine, he's just started, right? But like we can start like looking at his stuff and using data via trade journals and really start to build out like a statistical thing. So like I can see like, okay, in his last 30 days, and he's a brand new trader, but man, you had a very, very bad day over here. But then the rest of the days, like he's been okay. But beyond that, what I can start to see is like data, right? What's interesting is that for him, and he's a new trader, he's a profitable trader, but he's only really has a 41% win ratio. So if you were playing a game of heads and tails, he actually loses the game of heads and tails. But because his risk management is so good and the way he's managing his trades is so good, like he actually ends up in the profit on these things. And the trade journaling and the data they'll actually show you a big thing. Like, for example, he doesn't trade very low range stocks very well. So like all his losses come from like a very, very specific type of stock. And so this data will tell you like a whole different behavior of what's going on. And so I think that's like one of the fun things that why retail traders, they fail, because they don't have that. Now, another reason that retail traders fail is they don't know why they're losing in the first place. They don't have that awareness. It comes from actually not doing your homework, which is your journaling. Why that's important, right? So they're not doing their journal. So if you're not doing your journaling, then what goes down? You have no awareness of your tendencies. And your tendencies of why you get in trouble is very, very important. And even for myself, like I will put in, all my trades once a month, and I'll start diving into all these things, the same type of deal to see like what's exactly going on. And, I'll have my own tendencies of like what I'm trying to do. Now, like it's same type of deal. Like I could see exactly, right? Inside range, outside range. So like when the market is actually making big days, that's when I usually do well, right? When the market is making this type of move, I usually do well. When the market is doing this, I usually do well. And so these are the type of things that become really, really important when you are looking at trading. And this is where retail people will often fail. Of course, beyond that is like the weak mental toughness of, hey, I'm beating myself up versus looking for improvements. Sometimes like when we lose, and I'm like this too, in the past, is like we take losses and we associate those losses. It's called trader view. Amit. It's called trader view. But sometimes when we take losses, we associate those losses with like who we are as people. So like when I was like a new trader, if I would lose money, I'd be like, man, I must be a bad person. Or if I was losing money, I would think like, man, I'm a loser, right? Just because I lost in trading doesn't necessarily make me a loser, but that's how you feel at times. And it becomes like this thing that kind of spirals into it. When we're trading, we really have to go in. If you can kind of deduce your trading into patterns and just the math of the journals, the data, and say like, this is it, right? Hey, sometimes these things work, sometimes they don't. These are the probabilities, these are statistics. Then you can kind of take away that willpower part of trading where you're like, am I a good person, bad person? And just go in, hey, this is the data. Also, retail traders fail because they got terrible risk management. And this is like 99% of what I see with like my personal students. If they have $100 gain, I use Trader View, Michael. I know a lot of my students use the Trader Sync. I'm old timer. It's too hard for me to use. I love it, but I just can't figure out how to use it. All the students love it, but I can't do it. And, Josh, he loves it. So then, these are my peoples. But what can I do? I can't figure out how to use it, share anything on it, but it looks fucking fantastic. The Trader Sync, it looks fantastic. There's like, it is the best looking trading journal in the world. But for the life of me, I'm 40 years old. I can't figure out where to put anything on the thing. It's an awesome thing for smart people. I'm a blue collar person for the most part. When I say risk management, let me go back to this. This is how I used to be like in 2007 before I went. I'd make $200, $200, $200, $500, $500. Then I'd lose $5,000. That was my personal problem. I could make money like all the time. But the reason I was making money all the time was because if I was right, I would just take the profit, right? I wasn't really letting anything play out. And then if I was wrong, I would just hold it all the way down. And then poof, it'd go. So I would make money every day for weeks. Then all of a sudden it was gone. Big trading ego. Trading ego is actually something that I've seen come about more and more over the last couple of years, 5-6 years. Sometimes people take losses because they don't necessarily care about making money. They care about being right. I need to be proven right. This idea of mine, it's personal for them, right? When you start making it personal versus, hey, this trade is about charts. This trade is about data, then you're going to end up losing. And then, of course, the most easy thing, and one of the reasons that people fail all the time, is they spend little to no time preparing. And I think that's, hot damn. That's the one that people should be ashamed about. I see this all the time with even my guys. Like, it's like, hey, where's your watch list in the morning? It's like, when we run our chat room and stuff like that, my students put their watch lists. They put their watch lists in the chat room before we start trading. And I look at it and say, hey, this is okay. This is okay. This I have some questions on. And you'd be shocked. I would say these are people that pay thousands of dollars for a class, right? And they're supposed to be pretty damn serious. I would say like over half, no preparation. I was just seeing what everybody else is trading kind of thing. It's like, what? What did you pay me for? Like, what did you pay me for? A lot of times we can get complacent and we don't want to spend the time it takes to actually get going. There's only a few things you can really control. So like when you're thinking about like any end result, whether it's in business or trading, you can control your personal output, right? You can control your morning routines, your nightly routines. You can control how much work you put in, how much planning you put in. And in the end, the things that you can control, if you do it right, then the end result shows up over time. What happens if like you're haphazard, like one day you're pretty gung-ho and you like do all your homework, you do your preparation, and then like a couple of days later, you don't do it. And then the next day you do it. And the next day you don't do it. And you're like super haphazard with that. Well, each day that you miss, it really puts you back at, I wouldn't say 0, but if you miss one day, it puts you back 2 days compared to people that are doing their work every single day. So if you miss one day, it puts you back 2 days. You miss 2 days, it puts you back 4 days. If you miss 3 days in a week, you've lost 2 weeks compared to the people that are like doing their work every single day. Because like when you're actually doing like the stuff that's like even in our program or any kind of charting, we do scanning every day. I'll probably go through 1,000 charts every single day, flipping through different lists, different scans, seeing like what's happening in the markets. So when I do that, like it gives me a perspective of like what's happening like in the general market. So like every single day, like I'm going through stocks, like seeing like, okay, what are some things that maybe I'm looking for things to trade the next day. But beyond that, what it's telling me is and showing me is like what type of stocks are working, what type of patterns are working. It's like this is a mouthful, right? Like this is a lot going on. But what I do is I'm training my brain to see patterns and what kind of stuff works. And that kind of gets into your head. Like, we're big into these kind of patterns, like which are about very, very tight consolidations. So the more you see stuff like that, hot damn, I missed this today, right? The more you see stuff like that, the better you're going to get at it. But you need to go through like your charts every single day and just do this, because it's going to train your eyes to see like what actually works. What does momentum actually look like? And this is TC 2000. This is like regular charting program. Your brokers all will have stuff like that. Maybe not with all the features, but I see a lot of people use Thinkorswim and stuff like that. But in some manner, like you need some way of charting. If you want to be an active trader, like you can't really use fundamentals. And what I mean by that is like fundamentals are great if you're looking at things long term, for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. But if you're really looking at holding things for like, right, a handful of hours, a handful of days, to even a handful of weeks, then like really what difference does it make if a company has like a balance sheet that's good, or a company has XYZ free cash flow, right? These are like, trading fundamental terms that maybe have nothing to do with actual trading. Why retail traders succeed? So they stick with trading plans that have statistical edge. So like I have like literally, shit, man, I got thousands and thousands of trades between different trading journals over the years. They always know their strengths and weaknesses as traders. So this is like there's a self-awareness and a situational awareness. So there's two types of awarenesses in trading. Self-awareness is like, okay, these are the things that are getting me in trouble. I overtrade. I'm an anxious trader. I'm a habitually late trader, habitually late person. I'm an overtrader, and I'm an overactive person, right? Like an overreactive person. Overreactive people tend to be overtraders. Anxious traders tend to be anxious people. So what happens, like what the things that are happening in your personal life, they often show up in your trading, magnified by 10. So as traders, like having a self-awareness of the things that get you in trouble in real life is very important, because those are the things that get you in trouble in your trading life, but it becomes magnified because it's just a big computer game. And as you know, when you're playing a computer game, a lot of times people don't give a shit. Strong mental toughness is always a plus. But going back on this awareness part, so there's self-awareness, and then there is something that's very important, which is called situational awareness. Situational awareness is the understanding of the tactics and strategies and the spots that are happening in the market currently. What is working in the market and not working with the market? Where's the money flowing versus not flowing? Where are the trends versus where are the things that are getting knifed out? The situational awareness is, okay, in this market currently, this type of pattern is working versus not working. This type of stock is working versus not working. There will be certain markets where certain price ranges of stocks work versus not work. If you notice in January of this year, penny stocks, not penny stocks, but small cap stocks that were like $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $10, they were flying around. Everybody with a Robinhood account was making money. You had all these people who had with Discord rooms and stuff, and they were becoming famous. And then in February, what happened? Market shifted. All of a sudden, all those patterns that were working and all those things that were working, making everybody money in January, stopped working. And people kept doing them. And then in March, they weren't working. And then April, they weren't working. And then in May, they weren't working. And in June, they weren't working. They stopped working for months and months and months and months. And people kept doing the same things on these small cap stocks that were working in January, December of last year, and they ended up losing all their money. And then what happened in September? All of a sudden, those things started to pick up steam again, and they started working. So that's a situational awareness. That also comes from your trade journaling. What's actually working in this market, how and why, is very, very important. Sometimes, like when you're reading trading books or even taking classes, we get really stuck on like, hey, patterns, or XYZ that's coming in these books, but they very rarely give the nuances of when and why to use them. So these are things that become very, very important. Retail traders also succeed from really aggressive risk management. Like when you watch me trade, you'll see me take small losses literally all the time. Sometimes I take a small loss and the stock actually goes up, and it's like everybody's like, hey, we were in this one. But I do this for a very, very specific reason. I have very specific risk management principles that I never break. And when I do break them, it gets me in a lot of trouble. And then, of course, the biggest thing is no trading ego. You know, what I mean by that is like, hey, these are charts. We're trading patterns. We're trading numbers. It's a video game, right? It has nothing to do with us. As long as we can actually keep doing it, we're in the game. Beyond that, managing work-life trading balance. When trading, ensure you have no distractions from work. You know, I've had so many students that lost like tens of thousands, $100,000 that are actually good traders. Because like, oh my gosh, you know, like XYZ person busted in my office and I had to do this and I left these trades on and so on and so forth. My kid came in, so on and so forth. I got text from my boss. Whether it's an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, whatever time you're trading, you've got to devote it to that trading, at least in the beginning. Dude, when I'm trading, man, I can multitask like a motherfucker. Like, not always successfully, but I can roll around with the phones, the music, the phone calls, but not the first hour. That first hour of the trading day is like wild. Once you get towards lunch, things slow down a lot. You can do a little bit of multitasking, but I do it pretty good, but it never really pays me. The only thing is when I'm multitasking, maybe I won't lose over time, but it really never pays me. You don't want to get too deep into it. Have a structure to your day so you know when to transition between trading and work. Don't ruin your day before it starts. And of course, you know, you need to have a little bit of life balance. You know, having a pre-trading routine that gets you ready to trade. You know, a lot of people always assume like I wake up at 4 a.m, I get the computer at 5 a.m, and I'm just like sitting there before the market opens. And that's not true. Like for me personally, because for me, trading is like so mental. You know, when I wake up, I don't turn on the computer. I shower, I get ready like I'm going to work, I shave. And I almost always, I go outside. I walk to the beach every day. I live on the beach and I just walk. I FaceTime my mom, wake her up. She's getting older now, so she actually sleeps a lot more than she used to. But I wake her up. What's going on? Call my sisters. I got 3 sisters. Boom, boom, FaceTime. Once you get some FaceTimes done with the women of your life, sure a lot easier day, ain't it? Once you got that, you don't got to worry about it. You already called your mom. How could you have a bad day? But usually I walk. I like to walk a lot. That gets me ready for the trading day. I used to do the weights and all this stuff, and I still do, but that's like more in the afternoon. But in the morning, it's just walk. I walk that beach. I always get the sunrise, call my moms, call my baby sister, call my other annoying sister, and then my most annoying sister, get them all a little FaceTime. I'm ready to work. That's what gets me ready, like in a good mood to trade. And I would say probably about hour before the market, I'm at the computer. Now I do a lot of homework at night. So hour before the market, I get the computer. I'm not trading or anything. I'm just looking at some stuff, talking to students. And I do a lot of my homework at night. But that's my pre-trading routine. You don't got to be at the computer like sitting there from 5 in the morning. One thing to do, especially when you're, newer, tread with only a clear mind. If issues go on in life that are, impacting your thought processes, man, it's hard to really make money. I would say my biggest losses, like in trading, have come during times like where I'm like just super stressed about life. Like maybe you got like a family thing going on, a work thing going on, a girlfriend, boyfriend, both kind of thing going on, and you're juggling all this and your trading just goes to shit. The other thing is like, sometimes in life, like when you need your trading to make a dollar versus like you're just looking to make a dollar, it's a totally different ballgame. As retail traders, our biggest advantage is that we can be opportunistic. Like we can like literally lay in the weeds till we see like a really unique opportunity, and then we can hammer it. But like when we're forced to like make a dollar the next day or the next day, then we force a trade and it really never works. Part-time trading versus full-time work with trading. So people with part-time jobs, they may want to focus more time on day trading, because in the beginning, like you can just stack up cash pretty fast if you're a good day trader. If you stink, then you can also lose money a lot faster when you're day trading, but like you can really start to stack it. I notice like when you're swing trading, you need bigger amounts of capital because the percentage returns are different because you're not turning your account over as much. For example, like I'm trading 30, 40 times in a day, for example, and I may only trade a couple hours some days, but I'm like wheeling and dealing, right? So like I may be adding these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6% over and over. Of course, I'm taking losses too. So you end up with, on a percentage basis, some really wild returns, but it's not scalable up until the billions of dollars, but it's great up until hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's fantastic to build a lot of income. When you're swing trading, it's a little bit different. You're taking those bigger chunk returns, but you're only really, how many good swing trades can you really find in a week? 2, 3, 4. In a normal market, a hot market, you'll be able to find more, but the market is truly, truly only hot. Even like when you look at the market and they're like, wow, the market's up a lot this year. The market is really, truly only hot maybe 2, 3 months of the year, where like it's just going a straight line. Now, day trading is always hot because it doesn't really matter what the market does. But for swing trading, you will really capitalize on your gains in a handful of months versus the whole year. There'll be months where you just kind of stagnate. You may win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose two, win one, lose two, win one, so on and so forth, because the market conditions are just not there. When day trading, it may not matter. It usually doesn't. The best trading plan for me, there isn't a one-size trading plan that fits all. Everyone has different account sizes, risk parameters, life and work commitments. In our particular class, it's 60 days long. I teach it all. So long-term trading, short-term trading, day trading. Man, I'm trading cryptos. I got it all going for most days. If you work mornings, I got great afternoon strategies. Now, I'm very rarely at the computer. I would say I'm at the computer into the afternoon 2 days a week. When I'm there, we got great afternoon trading strategies. You work afternoons, the morning is my hotspot. It is very, very rare, like if I don't make money in the first hour. I'll usually actually lose money during the lunchtime phases, but it's very rarely I lose money in the first hour, because that's like my go-to. I got setups for it, patterns for it. I'm a very quick in reaction because I've been just doing it a long time. If you work full time, then I got part-time trading strategies that my mentor teaches, Paul, who taught me. I actually started this business. I started this website and these classes actually as a swing trader. I was working at a job. I was a partner and I used to do headhunting. So I had a partner at a recruiting firm. And I was a young man. I was 25 when I took over. Yeah. I started a little bit after college. I was 25 when I took over. 28 when I started, trading full time, 27, 28. During that time, I had a pretty damn demanding job. For the most part. I wasn't saving lives or anything. I was just, hello, sir. I was a glorified telemarketer, but I was good at it. So, during that time, I was really doing a lot more swing trading because I only had like maybe 30, 40 minutes a day to trade. I was running a business, so it was a little bit tricky to do that. So I actually started this business just doing swing trading, longer term trades, 3 to 5 day holds where I'm trying to get the kind of meat of the moves. Once I actually quit my job and then I started Bulls on Wall Street, our first month, I probably had like maybe 30, 40 members that I just like people I knew that I met on Twitter. I had like all these good swing trades going, but we would just sit there and be like, so what are we going to do today? Like, we just sit around, we had nothing to do all day. So I start throwing out some day trades, and I was like, man, this is actually a lot more fun. And then, I ended up finding out that that's what I wanted to do, man. That's where I was really passionate about. And I very rarely take days off day trading, even when I'm on vacation so much of the year, but I'm always day trading because, you take your laptop, bring a couple little, they got those AOC, not those AOC, the Asus 15-inch, like little paper thin monitors. You can fit like 3 of those in a backpack, plug them on your laptop, you're ready to go. In terms of, our boot camps, we are starting these up on Thursday. Always, I teach class pretty much year round. All our students, they come in, they retake classes, they have lifetime access to everything. I teach classes live. I'm not into DVDs and YouTube videos and all this kind of stuff. Full-time trading checklist. If you want to quit your job, I'd make sure you at least have a year of trading profitably before you do it. The graveyard is littered with very, very smart people, and I've met many of them that I couldn't say. They had a month or two, and they're like, fuck it. 2 beers in a bucket? Fuck it. I'm in. I'm doing this thing. I'm quitting my job. I'm like, whoa. Aren't you vice president of a company? And they're like, I'm fucking doing it, man. And next thing you know, things go to shit. You need to show good profitability for a year. It doesn't have to be like that. Certain people are just have an aptitude to do anything and nothing can get in their way. But like, how many people are really those people? I'm not one of those people. Like, yeah, shit, right? We're not all Alexander here, right? Or the dude from Gladiator. This is crazy. A year of living expenses saved up. I think that's actually very, very important, even if you don't have the year of consistent profitability. The worst thing you could do is like quit your job, go full-time trading, and then like in 2 weeks, you're like, okay, I got to make a good trade to pay my mortgage or pay my rent. That like never works out. Your account size is built up to the point where you can live off of it. I think that's actually super important because like you'll have 10, if you're trading very aggressively, like I trade very, very aggressively, then you're going to have 10% swings in your account like per day. Hopefully they're going to the upside. But that's like a very, very aggressive style of trading. Like you may not be able to stomach that. You have to dial that down when you're new, right? And build up your bankroll so you can get crazy, right? So you can do those kind of things. So like, I kind of think like, okay, if you're $40,000, you can make probably $500 a day, $1,000 a day if you're good, conservatively. But you really, the more you kind of can build up, the easier it is. The worst thing you can do is like, okay, I'm going full time. I got $5,000, right? When I took the plunge, I kept $50,000 in a day trading account, and then I kept the same amount of money in a swing trading account, which is right. You can do some part-time trades. That was very comfortable. And then I kept enough money to actually have a spare in case something happened. And that's what really came from like actually taking that extra year before I made the plunge. I was ready the year before, and I would have actually probably made it just fine. But man, like I would have had almost no buffer. Good, good, good. And, even while we do this stuff, all boot camp start class Thursday. We're going to work on trading, their trading plans. We look through these things. Like I can see all my guys, that actually share them with me. I can see what these people are doing. So I can go in like, okay, Marina's doing this. This person's doing this. Like, ooh, some bad behavior here. All right. I can see what's going on these things. Good behavior, good behavior. And so this is like Marina. She's one of my new students. But I could see the trades that they're taking. And I think that becomes very important. I would say average lesson is about 2 hours. Average lesson was about 2 hours. Now put it all together. If you've been struggling as a trader, you need to ask yourself the following questions. Do you have a defined trading plan? If no, then you need to build a regimented trading plan that covers your trading checklist. Are you adapting to changing market conditions? If what's working during summer months is not working now, have you changed your approach to how the market is acting? Are you taking high reward to risk trades? A lot of times people get caught like trading pennies. There ain't no money in the pennies. There ain't no money in the pennies. Are you micromanaging your day trades? Or are you following your risk management and stop loss strategy? Are you following trade alerts or trading blind solo? Or are you surrounded by like-minded traders? I think that's the biggest thing. I've got like a whole group of students that work together, like in our like Discord room and stuff. These guys, they do socials and stuff where they get together and like they actually, so we have swing trades, day trades, we teach everything. Like even in our Discord rooms and stuff like that, like they have socials where they all get on video together where dad's not allowed. And hot damn, right? Like when dad's not around, they come in and, they're able to chat with everybody. And also I'm trading cryptos in front of everybody too, because it's all the same strategy, right? And so it's kind of fun. Like I'm day trading in front of everybody during the day live. And then I'm trading the cryptos and putting my alerts. And so you guys can see like what I'm buying and selling. So how we work this thing is, okay, I teach class at night. I trade in front of you guys during the day, and we put all this together. So how to develop yourself as a trader after tonight. You want to surround yourself with successful traders, a good trading community where you have access to trading ideas, watch lists, most importantly, live classes, trade recaps. Okay, people are making trades, but then what is the nitty gritty inside there? Like, how do you reverse engineer these things? Why did you take these trades? If you haven't already, you need to build yourself a trading plan. This is something I would say probably only a quarter of my students end up doing. Like it actually requires a little bit of work, but the people that do it, they do get something out of it. I have my students work on business plans. I would say 50% of them just kind of send me something that's like from the template and they just fill in some things. And I would say a quarter of them put together like a business plan. Like they're going to a damn bank and asking for a loan, for a business. And it's pretty cool to see those bad boys. Man, it's like that gets me going when I see something like that. But almost everybody will turn one in. I would say a majority of people just do what's necessary. They kind of fill in from the template. And then, man, 25% get me this beautiful PDF that's going, and it's fantastic. We're going to learn how to swing trade and day trade, both long and short, when we go into this. So that's going to be really, really important. All right. We're going to be going. So I do mostly stocks. I'm always doing mostly stocks. You can do this strategy and, do options and stuff like that. But let me just give you just a fact. You take it however it is. I've been trading full-time since 2008. I've been learning how to trade since 1999. I know I look so young. I'm just kidding. I have met, and this is just fact, don't bite me. I met 5 good options traders in my life. The options trading business is awesome for certain things, but it's sold as how it's sold and packaged is wrong. The options business is sold and packaged as, hey, if you don't have enough capital to day trade stocks, you can just throw in $500, $1,000 and make these big returns trading options. And that is the misnomer, because the downside of that is if you have small capital and you do an over leveraged trade, if you lose on one, you also lose your capital, right? If you win on one, then of course you may gain multiple times your capital. But I have met just a handful of good options traders in my life. I've been to every single trading conference and read every book and met every good trader, like, that's actually at least out in the public. That's not, like part of some hedge fund or something, but, people that are making the circuits. I've met many. I haven't met many. I got a couple guys. My buddy Sanglucci, he's another Indian guy. He's very, very good. Shit, besides him, like there's a handful of them that I ever met. So if you want to get into options, do it after you have a bunch of capital. And use it for like strategies of like, okay, I need to hedge something. Maybe I want to add some juice to a trade, like some extra juice, but not the whole hit or miss. I got $1,000, so I'm just going to put my money in this option. And you'll see like these advertisements, and it is true. There are trades every single day that you see that go up like 1,000%, 2,000%, 3,000% in options. And there's 99.5% of trades that go to zero or lower. You know what I mean? So yes, you can cherry pick. And this is the problem with advertising in general right now in the financial community, because of Discord and these free communities and all this stuff. Everybody, look, first of all, you can get plugins right now on your Google Chrome to literally like Photoshop anything. So, these people are coming in like, oh, I made 11,000% on this. I made 10,000% on this. I made 5,000% on this. I made $50,000, 100,000. It's all lies. No. First of all, like if you're like a legitimate trader, like a big time trader, like you can't even be posting stuff like that, right? You're fucking SEC, FINRA, like they'll be all up on you. Like you're not really supposed to be fucking posting things like that. Like that's just not what people do that actually trade, right? So you just can't fall for that. The options, penny stocks, these are all geared towards going after customers that have big city dreams, not stupid customers or this or that, just customers that have big city dreams. Hey man, I got $2,000. I got a sick sister. I got a mom with COVID. I just lost my job and I got to make this happen. And so now all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I'm going to get myself in some penny stocks. I'm going to get myself in some options. I'm going to turn this into $100,000 and my life is going to be better. That last two, that's what it's usually geared towards. And it's disgusting. But what can you do, right? Except just let everybody know about it. And you know what, Raj? It's a little bit different. Selling options is a little bit different, right? It's like a little bit more, that's a little bit more of a nuanced thing, right? For income generation. And, usually what I'm talking about is like, okay, right? Like I think this $10 stock is going to go up and I buy a bunch of calls on it, right? And leverage the trade, versus and you know what? Frankly, I just haven't met many people that make money on directional leverage option trade. And you know what? I can be proved wrong. I can be proved wrong. But I don't have anecdotal evidence of that. So that's how I kind of guide you. Stay away from small caps. Actually, if you have a smaller account, small caps will make or break you. Meaning if you get lucky once, you might grow your account, but most people that trade small caps, we trade them every blue moon in the chat room, our chat room, once every month or so. There's just something juicy. But man, it's knife city, meaning like small caps that often look great. and they will just dive out of nowhere in the middle of the day. Like you could have the best trading pattern and it's like whoop, and then they just boom, drop 20% in a hot second. Small caps are also designed to take money away from retail traders and people with small accounts. So put it all together. Knowing when to trade full time is just one piece of the puzzle. I cover all this stuff in our 60-day boot camp in terms of the charting, the setups. I know it's a long ass class and it's designed for that for a reason. I'm a firm believer, man. I tried so much stuff before I met my mentor, Paul. Paul Singh, another Indian guy, awesome dude. Before I started being able to trade, like I tried everything. Books, all this kind of stuff, books, videos, message boards, shit. But live help, like being able to call somebody, being able to get a hold of somebody, being able to complain to somebody, right? That goes a damn long way. You can watch all the videos and you want, but if somebody's not telling you, like, come on, it's harder. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means it just takes, it's like your learning curve is so different. And I think that becomes so important. Like, for example, like I'm very big into fitness and exercise stuff. And even to this day, like I always work out with a trainer. Why? Because when I don't work out with a trainer, I usually go into the gym. I do a little bench press. I play on my phone. I do a couple pull-ups. I talk to a couple girls, right? I do a couple bicep curls. And then I'm like, all right, put a nice day in, right? But like, when you work out with somebody that actually knows what they're doing and is going to push you, all of a sudden, like you're doing things you didn't want to do. I'm like, all of a sudden I'm doing some Jane Fonda exercises, working out my butt. I'm saying, man, the butt's kind of burning. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And next thing you know, right, you're like, I think I'm dying. But you get better, right? You're pushing yourself to that edge. And it's the same thing, right? I have a business coach that helps me with the same kind of things. Like you would think after all these years, I would know something about business. Shockingly, I still know very little about business, right? You got to work on these things. So these are things that we cover in boot camp. You will know this stuff by the end of boot camp. And even if you don't take this class, over time, you will know this stuff. It's more a matter of learning curve, motivation, mentorship, but then also the nuances. There's just like small things in trading that go beyond what you can learn in a video, right? Like we see things even today, like in the market, like the market gapped up like 2%, 3%. Well, when the market does that, like there's like a specific scenarios that you have to do. And having somebody with experience that's already seen that very, very specific scenario hundreds of times can do. So like today, like everybody's like, oh shit, like, market gapped up. The Dow was up like 600 points before the market even opened. It doesn't really matter. Like there's still things to do. Okay, we got to wait for a dip to the 9 EMA, 20 EMA, and we're going to do what we have to do. So these are the things that we kind of encompass in our 60-day boot camp. Guys, we start up in a couple days. There's 28 live classes via webinar just like this. I get 18 different trading patterns from long-term to short-term. Day trading, swing trading in here. Classes are recorded for playback. You have lifetime access to these things. And I also do them over and over. Every class we got a Q&A, quizzes, homework, the works. We do market and trade recaps. I put all my students on a trade simulator after class is done. I got trade simulator built out through through TC2000, which is what we use for scanning. It's not, something that I own. It's just a charting program I like, but I've got a trading simulator and all the charting and scanning all built in. You have access to all my layouts, all my scans. Like you don't have to build anything on your own. We work on personalized trade plans, and we got an awesome community of students. In my chat room, there are very few people that haven't taken our class. So we have a chat room of people that actually are looking at stocks in a similar manner. But the manner that we look at stocks is not really like gimmicky. A lot of guys that trade the small cap stuff, they're like very, very gimmicky. They're one-trick ponies. When we learned this class, I got 18 different trading setups that encompass all different types of markets and all different types of stocks. So it's not a gimmick. This is the whole market. the way I trade is how a hedge fund trader or a prop trader would trade. Like, you're going to learn the legitimate big time, how big time traders trade. You have lifetime access to stuff. I got 200-page course book that comes with all this stuff. You have access to my chat room. I'm on live stream every day just doing this, but I'm on screen share trading in front of you guys. And then, of course, we got everything else. Guys, if you are interested or you want to have a call about our next boot camp, which starts in a couple days, put in your phone number, your email, whatever it is. You can just put it to panelists, if you don't want everybody to see like your information. And I will have one of my guys, and there's not one of my guys, my childhood best friend who also runs our company for us, Omar. He will give you a call. He's awesome. I've known him since I was 8 years old, when he called me cuntal infection in 5th grade in elementary school. And I went home crying to my mother, asking her what that meant, because my name was Kunal, and he decided to call me that. And somehow after that, we became friends. But he's an awesome dude. Talk to him. And, frankly, if you want to get a hold of me, that's always cool too. We got payment plans available. Send your name, email, phone number. I will give you a call. Omar will give you a call. We'll get this thing set up. Guys, if you ever want to just talk to any of our students, I got hundreds of students. You want to talk to somebody, email somebody, text somebody, phone call somebody. Dude, I got a million guys. You can come in and chat with all these guys. How to reach me after this? I'm Kunal00 on Twitter, Instagram. This is my personal cell number, by the way. Feel free to text me, say hello, whatever. It's my personal celly, my bat phone. No, I'm just kidding. This is my personal celly. It's a 517 area code because I went to college in Michigan State. And even though I live in Florida right now, and I have for quite some long time, I know what it is, but I still can't take away my Michigan number. You know what I mean? Like, when people ask where I'm from, where I live, yeah, Michigan. All these years, I live in Destin, Florida right now. People are like, oh, where are you? Michigan. I live here. I love living on the beach, but I just don't have the heart to tell anybody that I'm not a Michigan man anymore. Guys, I appreciate this. If you guys have any questions, ask me now, because I actually, I can't see the old ones. And yeah, feel free. Ask me whatever you want. And guys, this is, of course, I'll put them here. You got my email. That's my Sally. And by the way, Omar, put in your email, phone number. Omar will give you a call. Yeah, we do trading psychology stuff. I mean, you could probably, you can probably tell, I'm big on the mental side of stuff. Are there any good technical analysis day trading books you recommend? There's a book called Hit and Run Trading. It's an older one by Jeff Cooper, something Cooper. It's called Hit and Run Trading. It's actually pretty good. That was one of the first ones I read. They can be a little bit confusing at times because, it's like, with YouTube and stuff now, you can do like a 500-page book in 10 minutes of video. But there's still, I think, my thinking is with these trading books, because they're all stink. But my thinking is if you can gain one thing from a book that lasts you, then it's worth it, right? For me, I read 2-3 books a week usually. If you gain one thing, because the shitty ones you just skim over them, and if something engrosses you, you read it. I think the shitty ones, you just treat it like a blog post, right? But if you can glean one thing into it, then it's worth it. I think that Hit and Run Trading is pretty good. The people at SMB Capital, Mike Bellafiore, he writes some really good books. There's a book called The Playbook that I thought was really, really good. And then on the trading psychology side, I think Dr. Steenberger, he's wrote a lot of good books. Now, he's wrote a ton of books, and some of them are very, very dense. And I don't want to say a bro, right? Not a bro, but I'm definitely not like that Wusa Wusa. And I thought that the Daily Trading Coach was fantastic. That's one of his books because he took like all the trading psychology stuff and broke it into 100 small lessons. So it's like 5 pages of reading material, this and this and this, some bullet points, and then like a homework assignment and a lesson of trading psychology. And what the gist is over time, by the end of it, like you've kind of improved your trading psychology, like in these small gradual manners. And I thought that that was pretty fucking sick. Sorry for the swearing. Gee, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I think it's because it's Tuesday. Maybe there's a full moon. Maybe there's a full moon. Good. And guys, Vineet, I look forward to having you. Amit, look forward to having you. Dave, I look forward to having you. Man, my Indian brothers, 408. That's Canadian. What is that? Calgary? Oh, yeah. Okay. 603. That's a New Hampshire. Look forward to having you, man. Fucking night. Cool. Mr. Christopher, how are you? Rob Caros. Did that help? I mean, I got a couple more that might do you some good. I'll have to let me gather. Man, trading books can be so dense. I'm trying to find some ones that got some gist to it. Curtis Faith wrote some books called Trading from a Gut that I thought were really good. Alexander Elder has wrote some good books, but I think they're a little bit played out because like some of these older authors, not older authors, but some of these authors that are like writing books now, they haven't made any money like since the 80s or like the early 90s. So like what's happening is like a lot of these like 50, 55-year-old trading book authors, and you're seeing them on Twitter and, you know, peddling classes and stuff. They haven't made any good trades since like the 90s. Like they're like, oh, when I made this and this and this, and then they're like showing like something from like Yahoo in 1998, and you're like, huh? I'm like, what? I ain't gonna name any names, but you guys probably know who I'm talking about. So class, yeah, we're gonna have 3-4 classes a week, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. on Sunday. We do 2 classes on Sunday. I do one class that's a trading class, then one class that's a huddle, which is like getting people ready for the trading day. That's like open to all our students that have taken class, you know, over the years. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we spend a lot of time on Sundays. Just, I like to do class, you know, pump everybody up and get them educated. And then I like to do another class and like, okay, this is how we're going to make money, you know, because doing class is nice, but like, you know, book knowledge is great. And it's like, hey, okay, these are our things. But then I like to, you know, spend the rest of the Sabbath like, okay, this is how we're going to make some money tomorrow, right? So we spend a lot of time on Sunday doing 2 classes because book knowledge is great, but hey, we still got to go out. We got a job to do. And so then we go out and trade and make it happen. And so we'll do a class called the Huddle to just get everybody ready. Good. Selma, you know what? In our classes are really for people that are fairly beginner. You can have a laptop, and then you know what? They have these AOC like USB monitors. They're like $100, $120. You can plug that in your laptop, and I mean that'll give you another monitor. If you're looking to just swing trade, then yeah, you don't really need other monitors. But if you want to day trade, the access to having just another screen, it really does go a long way. I travel overseas. You know, before Corona, I'd be traveling overseas like 6 months of the year. So I was always trading on a laptop. And then I would just use, let me find this bad boy. I got one of these. I say like an Asus. It's just a USB monitor. This goes in your laptop. I just take this on the road. They're so thin. I fit one of these in my backpack, plug it into my MacBook. Good to go. And I got a second monitor. It's pretty cool. And I think it was like about $150, $140, something like that. Yeah, sir. If I'm traveling like right now, like in my command center, I mean, I have 3 monitors, so nothing crazy, but they're like 43-inch. They're huge, like 43-inch Dells. They weigh like 200 pounds. But like, I still don't need them. I make actually more money. I've always made more money traveling on the road than I've ever made at home. But it is nice as you get older to just have the screen space to see stuff. Yeah, I haven't noticed it actually impacts my trading that much. The most money I ever made trading, I was living in Costa Rica in 2013 for like 6 months with my friend, and the internet was awful there. I mean, my Omar was with me. The internet was awful there. We were on like maybe like a megabyte per second internet. Like it was rough. And like I would have everybody like when we were doing webinars, I'm like, okay, everybody turn off your phones, turn this off. Like we need this bandwidth, and we would do it. And like my face would be all like freezing. It was, and you make it happen. And you know what? I actually found out the reason why I was actually looking back now, like why I did so good then. It wasn't that I made the most money, but it was the most consistent I had been. And one of the reasons was because I had the slow internet and I had access to like my laptop and, a skinny monitor, and the skinny monitors were a little bit thicker back then. I was like really focused. Like I'm okay. I did all my homework at night and I would only have like 4 or 5 stocks to watch. And I'd be like, and I'd make sure to pick the best ones. I just stare at them and wait for like that perfect entry. And I knew like I couldn't be frivolous and be in and out, in and out, in and out, because right, like, your internet's going to freeze a lot. Your charts are going to be slow. And man, like I went on like the run of runs down there in terms of consistency. And, I made a lot more money over the years after that, but like never that kind of consistency. Now that I'm older and I just have more money, of course, you're going to have bigger days and stuff like that. But man, 2013, I'm in my 20s. Man, I just, running around with your bros and having no internet. It was pretty fun. So we're on bootcamp 55, I believe, 56. So we usually have 30, 50 students, give or take. Josh, who's in answer these questions, he's one of our students. He took a class, I believe, when he was either 14 or 16. He works for me too. Oh yeah, Michael, this is an Asus. It's just you can type in Amazon like Asus USB monitor. It's a USB-C, but it comes with an adapter, so you can make it USB-A or B, or the one that's a little bit bigger. It's damn thin though. I used to carry 2 of them. And you know what? This thing has been a beast. Like I beat this thing up. I put it in my backpack. And to actually make it stand up, it's pretty cool. Like, see, there's like a little hole in this thing. And so like all you gotta do is put like, it comes with like a pen. So you just put a pen or a pencil and it makes it stand up. It's pretty cool. Good. Anybody else got any questions? Man, I appreciate you guys showing up as always. Hey, man. I love you guys. As always, I appreciate you. God bless you all. Peace in the Middle East, my friends.